Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be taking you through Wet n Wild's brand new Liquid Catsuit matte lipstick range. I'll be trying out all 13 shades so you can see exactly how they look on my lips, and I'll be giving you some insight into my first impressions of each shade. These liquid lipsticks actually feature a little bit of a different wand. They have a bit of a scoop to them, so while it does cover your whole lip, it also helps to outline the outer perimeter of your lip, which is pretty unusual for liquid lipsticks. I feel like they're all the same kind of doe foot applicator, so this made for some different application. It wasn't hard to learn, it was pretty straightforward, and in fact it kind of gave me a little bit more control than I was expecting. Let's dive right in. The first shade I have here is called Nudie Patootie, and it is oddly attractive on me. It's a nude beige neutral color, but it has a gray tinge to it, which I find oddly enticing. I don't think that that's something I ever would have said in a nude lipstick before, but gray lips have really grown on me over the years, and I quite like this shade. So while this may not work for everyone, I quite like it. Next up is the shade Nudist Peach, and this is a gorgeous color. I just wish the formula was a little bit better on this one. It wasn't opaque in one coat like the previous color was, and it's kind of sinking into my lip lines, but it's also like dissolving in the lip lines. It's almost as if it sinks in there, creates a crevice, and then parts. It's really bizarre. So while the color is absolutely stunning and I love the way this looks on myself, I can't see myself reaching for it just because of the flaws in the formula. This next shade is Coral Corruption, and I'm pretty positive that this is going to be my favorite shade in the entire range. This is beautiful. It's kind of a almost vibrant but muted coral shade. It's not as neon as some corals that I enjoy wearing, but the color is gorgeous. It was also opaque in one coat, and it's not doing that weird separation between my lip lines. Hands down, an absolute winner in my book. And now we have the shade Pink Really Hard, which is not a color I normally gravitate towards, but these are the kind of colors that always look good on me. So while I'm not necessarily a pink person, I can acknowledge the fact that it does look quite decent. This is kind of similar actually to Bite Beauty's Fig Lipstick, which is one of my absolute favorite shades to wear. It's the kind of color that you can match with pretty much any eye look and it's going to work. This was relatively opaque in one coat. I am getting a little bit of pilling on the inside rim of my lip, but it's not excessive. The next shade I have here is Rebel Rose, and so far this one has the best formula that I've tried. It is smooth, super opaque, super pigmented, and it just really went on the lips so nicely. I see this as a more of a dusty mauve rose. I think the color is wonderful. It's something that I think everyone can wear and look really, really good in. This is also a great lipstick to match with bright, colorful eyes because it's downplayed enough that you don't have to worry about it clashing with your eyes. The next shade is Me Mocha, and this is another beautiful color. It was a little liquidy when I first applied it, so it did require a few coats to get completely opaque. And that was a little bit strange because I have like shaken and stirred these all up before using them just to make sure that the formula was mixed completely. However, it did layer really, really nicely, and the color in the end looks beautiful. So I don't think it's weird to layer a few colors, or rather a few layers of that color onto my lips, because it did layer just fine. So this is a gorgeous shade. It's kind of like to me I see more of a terracotta red brown. Next up is Berry Recognize, and this one surprised me with just how much pigment it had, especially in comparison to the Me Mocha shade, which had a little bit more of a liquidy texture. This was like bang, full on color in your face right off the bat. At first I was like, whoa, there's too much on there. I do find the inconsistencies a little bit strange in this formula, but hey, there are some great shades in here, and this is definitely one of them. This is a more purple, red berry color. This is something I would love to wear around the holiday season. I love, love, love this one. Just like the last shade, To Fuchsia is super pigmented. I got a little carried away with the lip swatch, but this is opaque in one swipe. Another beautiful shade, and it did feel like the texture was really, really good on this one. And the next shade is My Dolly. This is a super neon pink, and this is how I like my pinks. Vibrant, in your face, and neon. The texture on this one was a little bit different. It was thinner, more moussey, but it did create perfect color, and I don't really notice any patches in this one. If you are looking for a super vibrant shade from this range, this is definitely the most neon color. This one is a Flame of the Game, and I love this one. It's kind of a tomato red, although I guess some people would call it an orange. This is completely opaque in one coat. The color is beautiful. It went on seamlessly, and it wasn't a thin textured one either. I feel like with a color like this, if it's a thin texture, you're really gonna show a lot of streaks, but that wasn't a problem with this shade. I feel like with every lipstick collection there is out there, someone always releases a blue toned red, and that is what this color is. This is Missy and Fierce. This is one of those perfect red shades. It is very, very similar to MAC's Russian Red, which is a staple of mine. This was completely opaque in one coat, although I will say out of all of them that I've tried, this definitely feels the driest on the lips. This shade is Video Vixen, and it is hands down the worst in the entire collection that I've tried thus far. There's only one shade left, but I'd be surprised if it could beat this. This is patchy. It slides all over the place. I've probably got like 3 or 4 coats on my lips at this point because I was trying to make it even. It's not happening. This color is a total pass for me, which is a bit unfortunate because the color itself is beautiful, but this particular formula is not working for me. And the very last shade is Goth Topic, and as I predicted, it's not as bad as Video Vixen, but it is still quite patchy. At this point, my lip swatches have gone way off the rails. But the texture of this was very similar to Video Vixen in the sense that it was a bit of a thicker, creamier format. It is a little bit different than the other ones, and it is strange to say that some are quite liquidy and thin, some are moussey in texture, and some are a bit more thicker and creamy, much like this one. That being said, while the texture is not incredible and amazing like potentially some higher end brands, what you do get with this is a very inexpensive product and the opportunity to try out a shade that you would potentially not want to spend $30 in a higher end version. So consider that when you're looking at these shades. All right, so that's it for every single shade from the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit range. Let me know what your favorite shades were and if you've picked any up or if you're going to try any. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!